Elon Musk, very unknown, small figure, probably never heard of him, very covert businessman. Um, did a Neuralink event. What is Neuralink? Well, it's a little chip thing that you put in your brain that allows you to interact with technology in certain ways, and they're showing it off in this video. CNET was nice enough to condense it into 10 minutes. Let's give it a watch. Now, I immediately have a problem with the way that this is set up. This is done. I could move my camera to the other side of the room, but I can't be bothered, so here we are.
Here you can see Sake, it's one of our other monkeys, typing on a keyboard. But now this is telepathic typing. So to be clear, this is he's not actually using it.
Just to be clear, here Elon Musk is showing off Neuralink, and he's showing these monkeys typing with Neuralink. And the first thing that jumps to mind is, Jesus Christ, Elon Musk has figured out how to teach monkeys how to spell and write. What's actually happening, which he explains in a second, but it's still an issue for me, is that these letters are lighting up, and then the monkey is thinking the mouse cursor over to the lit up letter and clicking it, because the monkeys have been trained to mentally click these buttons with their mind if they're glowing gold or yellow.
Keyboard, he's moving the cursor with his mind to the highlighted key. Now technically, can't actually spell, and so I don't want to oversell this thing. But what's really cool here is Sake the monkey is moving the mouse cursor using just his mind, moving the cursor around to the highlighted key, and then spelling out what we want to spell. But and then so this is something that could be used for somebody who's say quadriplegic.
My God, Elon, get it out. This is the thing that frustrates me with this immediately. Moving mouse with mind. So this is a technology that has been about for, I mean, this was 12 years ago. It's not the same technology that's being used here, to be fair. It's a different, it seems to be implanted in the brain somehow, right?
Turned on the program. I was able to type with it. I can't demonstrate it because I can't use my hands. You got it trained. It took 20 minutes. Then we turned on the program. I was able to type with it. I can't demonstrate it because I can't.
So this was 12 years ago. 12 years ago, this guy was, with 20 minutes of training, trained.
Just think real hard.
This computer thingy.
No, not touching anything.
Type
no remote
for him.
Controls, no.
With his
nothing.
mind.
Just think real
so
hard.
So the fact that Elon Musk is showing off the ability to do this, but now the thing that was on your head is in your head, ain't that impressive to me, dude. It's really not. But I'm gonna let him, I'm gonna let him continue. But my God, Wizen, thank you very much for 16 months of being a super.
For a tetraplegic human, even before we make the spinal cord stuff work, is being able to control.
He talked about making the spinal cord thing work, right? I read, what was a top comment in this? It was really kind of like, whoa, where was it? Oh, it's gone. Dude, it's gone. Someone wrote under in one of the comments, they said something to the tune of, okay, now imagine that you miss your monthly subscription on your Neuralink and your legs are disabled. Because you're paraplegic, or because your legs don't work, and you use Neuralink to power them and you miss a payment. Imagine living in that kind of world, dude. I have also heard that like 100 monkeys have died during the testing of this. Not proven. I've heard it.
A mouse cursor, control a phone, and we're confident that someone who has basically no other interface to the outside world would be able to control their phone better than someone who has working hands. I think it's also important to show that Sake actually likes doing the demo and is not like strapped to the chair or anything. So it's yeah. So
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. So from what I've seen here, we'll see if he expands on this further. The monkey comes down into frame to suck on this pipe and then answers the letters. Now, as far as I'm aware, the stuff that's in this pipe is like some kind of juice, some kind of sweet thing, right? And as the monkey types, every time it types, it gets like a little bit of this sweet juice. I can't remember where it was I read this, but that's how it was explained to me, like how this is all working. But the thing is, see if the monkey's real hungry and the only place it can get food is the pipe, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I'm just saying that, you know, maybe if you showed us, they'd have to prove that the monkeys were being adequately fed to prove to me that, you know, that they like doing this, because I can't take you on your word.
the monkeys actually enjoy doing the demos because they get the banana smoothie, and it's kind of a fun game. So
it's a banana smoothie.
I guess what I'm trying to make is like we care a great deal about animal welfare, and
he wouldn't be saying that he cares about animal welfare if there wasn't a rumor going around that hundreds of monkeys have died during the operation to put the Neuralink chip into their heads.
And I'm pretty sure, like, our monkeys are pretty happy, you know. So as you can see, a quick decision maker on the fruit front. So for the first two applications we're going to aim for in humans are restoring vision, and I think this is like notable in that even if someone has never had vision ever, like they were born blind, we believe we can still restore vision.
We can stimulate.
I should be very clear right now. I believe that what he's talking about is phenomenal. I believe that he possibly does actually want to do these things, right? I believe that. I don't believe it's for any other reason than 1, money, 2, control, 3, rule the world. I really don't think it's for... dude, if I have a chip implanted in your head and can disable your ability to see, dude, and here's the thing. What happens when the eyeballs that you can get, or the vision that, you know, let's say that the chip is linked up to actual video cameras in the eyes, right? Because it was a picture of a video camera that they had here. Yeah, it's like, I'm assuming they would feed the video feed into the visual receptors in your brain, something like that. I've got no idea. Not a doctor, right? I'm just going off the little thing that he's got here. You've got the video camera that feeds into the phone, that feeds in the app on your phone that feeds into your brain. Imagine having the ability to turn people's eyes off. What happens when the eyeballs or the cameras that you can get installed in your head can zoom in and have better clarity, no floaters, the ability to record and take pictures? What happens when people start to upgrade to that shit? Because, wow, that sounds really cool. And now they have a monthly subscription for their eyeballs. What happens when the person that rules all that decides, let's just turn all these people, let's turn them all off if they don't start, you know, voting for me and shit. I don't feel like... This sounds crazy. This does sound crazy. But you know what else sounded crazy 10 years ago? Monkeys with chips in their heads solving puzzles!
I think this is like notable in that even if someone has never had
This is so crazy to me, man.
like they were born blind.
I prefer any electronics to be external to my body. Same!
We can stimulate neural activity in the brain
He actually did soundboard for his own presentation. He did.
by injecting current through every channel.
Whoa,
This is
explain.
activity in the brain by injecting current through every channel. This is important because it allows us to bypass the eye and generate a visual image in the brain directly. In this image, I've highlighted the calcarine side.
I was able to figure out how this worked before he even explained it.
Focus in red in an MRI. It contains a map of the visual world, the visual field. It's about a surface area equal to a credit card on each side. One of the seminal discoveries was that every cell in the visual cortex represents only a tiny part of the visual field. Your perception is made up of a mosaic of tiny receptive fields, each belonging to a single cell in your visual cortex. So if you record from one of these cells in a monkey, say in this location, you can find...
This is very interesting. I am interested to know whether or not they've been able to do this. I'm interested in whether or not they're able to capture what that part of the brain is displaying, and whether or not we'll be able to see a video right now of what the monkeys are seeing, but through their eyes. Surely if you know how to feed information into there, would feeding information into that part of the brain be the same as taking that information out? Probably not, but that would be cool.
Find a very tiny region of the screen where a light stimulus will cause modulation.
That also raises the other thing, right? If it's harder to get the information out of the brain, oh my God, this is crazy on so many levels. If you can't get a visual feed from that part of the brain into the app, but you can get a video feed from the fake eyes into the app, it would mean that if you had real eyes and used Neuralink, they couldn't record what you're seeing. But if you had fake eyes and used Neuralink, they could record what you're seeing. Also, imagine if they could record what people were seeing, you'd have to commit crime with your eyes closed.
Of that neuron.
If you had the thing.
Schematic of what a visual prosthesis using our N1 device might look like. A camera.
Oh shit, hold on. My earbuds just died on me. But I have another pair spare. Give me a second. I can't miss a millisecond of this. I'm so... The thing is, stuff like this sends me down the deep end, man. This makes me feel like a crazy person, but I just, you know, he's saying this is how they think it will appear, right?
One device might look like. A camera, the output from a camera would be processed by an iPhone, for example, which would then stream the data to the device, and the image would be converted into a pattern of stimulation of the electrodes into visual cortex. With 1,000 electrodes, we might be able to produce an image resembling something that you see there on the right.
So our first steps along these dimensions for our device is what we call the N1 implant. It's a size of about a quarter.
The thing that I'm confused about is, surely there would be some amount of radiation put off by this chip that's implanted in your head. If it has to communicate wirelessly or communicate via 4G or 5G or whatever channel you're using, surely at a certain point, the amount of radiation that would put off would give you cancer. I would assume. I mean, right?
And it has...
Have you watched Repo Men? Similar vibe? I have. I've not watched that in a long time.
There are 1,000 channels that are capable of recording and stimulating. It's microfabricated on a flexible thin film arrays that we call threads. It's fully implantable and wireless, so no wires, and after the surgery, the implant is under the skin and it is invisible. It also has a battery that you can charge wirelessly, and you can use it at home. For implanting our device safely into the brain, we built a surgical robot that we call the R1 robot. It's capable of maneuvering these tiny threads that are only on the order of a few red blood cells wide, and inserting them reliably into a moving brain while avoiding vasculature. So here it is. That's our R1 robot with our patient Alpha, who is lying comfortably on the patient bed. This is what we call the targeting view. So what you're seeing is, this is a picture of our brain proxy. And the pink represents the cortical surface that we want to insert our electrodes into, and the black represents the vasculatures that we want to avoid. So
I do not believe that they are within 10 years of being able to do this. I just don't.
So this is another view, real quick. On the left is the view of the insertion area, and on the right, what the robot's going to do is it's going to peel the array, the threads one by one from its silicon backing and insert it into the targets that we predetermined in the targeting view.
How is it, hold on, how is it powered? How do you charge it? There's no way that it just works. There's no way that it's the first device in the history of anything that doesn't require batteries. Do you have to get your batteries changed every now and then? What happens if there's a short circuit? Here's another thought. What happens in 50 years when everyone has one of these and nukes no longer matter because you can use an EMP to wipe out half the population of a country? This is crazy. This is so, and then what, we're going to get EMP shield? Like what, we're going to have to start wearing tinfoil hats to stop the EMPs? And this is crazy to me. Don't get me wrong, right? A future where we can have something like this is very exciting to me. Imagine being able to do full dive VR with a little Neuralink chip in your head. Imagine being able to, you know, well, I would hope that by the point that we've got these in our heads, that people don't have to work because we've automated the majority of tasks in society and we all work part-time in order to fill in the rest of everything that needs done. But this is mental to me. Like, the amount of like damage that could be caused by something like this is... Wait, read up on all the blind people who got eye implants which are no longer supported by companies that went out of business. Whoa. By the size of a quarter, they clearly meant the diameter of a quarter, the thickness of a roll of quarters. Yeah, that thing is not small. Like, how do you charge it? Do you have to sleep with like a wireless charger like strapped to your head? Like, I'm being serious. Like, how do you... Surely you have a wireless charger strapped to your head. There's no way that you could charge that thing without taking it out, without... Like, you can't have electricity. Dude, there are people that say that you shouldn't sleep with earbuds in because it's wireless technology constantly stuck in your head is going to give you cancer at some point. How are you going to have a little metal thing on your brain? This is, I don't understand.
There you go. That's the first insertion.
I don't like that.
There you go. That's the first insertion.
Did that look aggressive to you? That looked aggressive to me. That doesn't look like... I don't feel like the best way of doing it is just... You know, I don't feel like that's the best way to do it. I feel like it should be a gentle little... I mean, I don't know. They'll know more than me on this, but...
So we're going to see a couple more insertions. The whole process of inserting about 64 threads in our first product is going to be around 15.
They're going to stab your brain 64 times. They're going to... Haza, you said 7,999. That would... 64 times?
Minutes for this robot. 64 threads in our first product is going to be around 15 minutes for this robot.
Since I joined in 2017, we've also done a handful of iterations to optimize the thread insertions of the robot. One of the challenges that we've had to face has to do with the optomechanical packaging. So as you can see here, there's about 3 primary optical paths that are really valuable for us to have reliable thread insertions. One is the visible imaging of the needle inserting the thread. And then another is the laser interferometry system called OCT, optical coherence tomography, that gives us the precise position of the brain while it's moving in real time. And then also we have to provide lighting and illumination to see what's going on in the visible light camera. And doing all this where the needle is at the bottom of the craniectomy, especially when it's close to the skull wall, can be pretty difficult to fit everything and be able to see it. So the way that the team solved this is by putting all 3 of these optical paths into one optical stack using photon magic or polarization, whatever you want to call it. And that enables us to do vessel avoidance in real time. So as I mentioned, the brain is moving, and where we place targets in the beginning may not be where you want to insert at the moment the needle is going down there.
No way. No way. No way. There's no way. And I understand that we're not within 10 years of this being done, right? Not at least on a big scale. Maybe we'll see a human test subject somewhere where there's no laws for this kind of thing in the next 5 years. Maybe. And then in 10 years from now, we'll see that he's turned into a mindless zombie person who likes to lick light bulbs, because there's no way the first person to get this done, there's no way it ends well, right? I can't even stay on track in my mind because I can't believe that they're showing this off in such an infantile state. Obviously, just to get funding, but I am less sure that they know what they're doing now as opposed to before.
So the robot can actually detect the vessels and then determine if we're going to insert onto a vessel or not, if it's safe to insert, and then that way we can avoid inserting onto major vessels.
So for persons with...
This is mental. Imagine a sewing machine going up and down on your optic nerve. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Getting LASIK surgery was stressful enough for me. For that reason, I am out. Dude, I've heard it's terrifying. Basically, a lot of those eye implants are breaking down because of old age. Spare parts aren't being made anymore. The tech is all proprietary, so nobody else can make spare parts, and removing the implants would cost tons of money / damage the eyes and / damage the eye so much that replacement implant couldn't be installed. Jesus, like, stuff like this has to be open sourced. It really does. No company should have this kind of power. No one person should be in control of something like this. There's no way. There's no way that you can convince me that there is a single human alive that could be trusted with this. There's just not. And you know, to go past that, there's no... anyone that can get to this position should not be trusted.
Spinal cord injury, the connection between the brain and the body is severed. The brain...
This is how it always starts in the movies as well, dude. This is how it always starts. With our technology, we have... Wait, let me set the scene. Okay. It's a showcase like this. I'm the presenter. It's a showcase like this, okay? And I'm showing off this slide, okay? And the year is 2022, okay? With our technology here at Neuralink, we have figured out how to solve the severing of the spine and re-enable limbs that have not been used in either a long time or ever. We have solved blindness, and we have figured out full dive VR for consumers. The future is now. Smash cut, 2055. Everyone is marching up and down the street like robots, picking up garbage, filing cabinets away, or filing files into cabinets, and sleeping on the street, bored straight, just like that, because the entire world is now controlled by one single person, and all of a sudden someone breaks out of the robot cycle. Bang! And they look around and they go, oh my gosh, we're all being controlled. I need to save us. And now we're in the Matrix. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. So long as one person is in charge.
continues functioning normally, but it's unable to communicate with the outside world. You've already heard...
Here's the thing, right? I feel like there are people out there that want to defend Elon Musk. There are people out there that want to say that this type of thing is good. There are people out there that will just want to defend this nonstop. And to those people, I have a very simple thing to say. Would you get a security camera in your house connected to the cloud? In every room in your house, in the bedroom, in the toilet. Every room, not just some of the rooms. Every single room, every single inch of your house has a camera able to, and I mean every inch, has a camera able to see it in the cupboards, in the fridge, in the bathroom, okay? In the bedroom. There is no hiding from those cameras, and they're all connected to the cloud privately. Maybe they'll get hacked. Maybe they won't. Now imagine you've got Neuralink, and the cameras are your actual eyeballs. Oh. What's that? looking down to wipe your ass. Elon Musk is watching that. It's not so much that you need to be worried about that kind of thing. It's that the problem with people being able to see everything you do is the same problem that you have with cookies on the internet right now. They build profiles on you. You like this, you like that. And at first you go, oh my God, all the adverts I'm getting are for gaming. This is great. Cookies are fantastic. Now the internet knows, because of my advertising ID, that I like gaming, so all my ads are games. But it doesn't stop there. Then they look at your buying habits. And they go, he buys this, and he buys that, and he buys this, and he buys that. So we know that he will like to buy the physical, real product of a game. And then what's the next step? Let's figure out how to sell him something that we don't have to print or make. Let's get rid of the game case. Let's get rid of the physical CD. Let's get rid of the need to package it. Let's get rid of the people that need to package it. So those people have lost their jobs. Let's get rid of the people that, the postmen that would deliver those games to the stores or to your house. Let's get rid of all them and fire all them. We don't need them. And now we're going to sell this game to him digitally. And then we go, oh, right. And then they know they can do that because they know how you buy and they know what you like. And then they go, how do we sell them fake things in the game? Well, we know that this person likes dragons, and we know that they like cars, and we know that they like motorbikes. Let's make a dragon skin for the cars in our game in Grand Theft Auto. Oh, well, I'll spend real money on the fake thing that doesn't exist, that you don't have to ship to me, that you don't have to put any work into, barring the one artist that designed it. And then it just keeps going. And the problem with that is that that's what happens when we have ad blockers. That's what happens right now. What happens when they can see through your eyes, when they literally know how you think, when they have a chip on your brain that you've got to pay a monthly subscription for, when all your, even further, what happens 30 years from now, or 10 years from now, when Neuralink starts putting fake eyes into people that don't need them, and all the kids at school, Jimmy just got Neuralink eyes. I want Neuralink eyes. And then the kids start growing up with it, and then it becomes the norm. Like, these are all scenarios that sound crazy and sound like they're coming from a crazy person. We're talking about putting chips in brains with 64 threads in order to fix problems that need fixed right now. But I don't know, dude. I feel like a lot of this stuff starts like this, then it ends up with it being utilized in either war or to control the population. This is, or Earth or people, or, you know, a few people trying to control the many, etc. It's a very, like, slippy slope that is very spooky scary. Mostly because I don't feel like, or I know, humanity hasn't reached the point of we can't trust each other with this. I can prove it. It's super simple. Go next door to your neighbor's house, tell them to come over, give them the remote control, and ask them to pick what you're watching. You don't trust them to do that. They don't know that you want to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger tonight. But you're going to trust some mental billionaire with a chip that's going to go on your brain? We're not there yet. Society doesn't trust each other. If society doesn't trust each other, then how do we trust corporations which are run by mandates? This is crazy to me, man. It's so crazy to me that there's no like government out there that's going, listen, we don't believe humanity is ready for this technology. We need to stop it for now. We can develop it, but it cannot be used. It has to be outlawed and banned. We've done that with AI in some countries. But right now, this needs to be stopped. It's not ready, and it has the ability to completely take over the entire planet. It really does. What if someone hacks into the system? You're dead, dude. See now. Okay, I'm gonna admit, I don't know if you can. This has only been done in movies, but don't you have the ability to like hack Teslas or hack electric cars, and turn things off? I'm pretty sure that that's a thing. I can't remember if it was a documentary or movie though. I'm pretty sure you can hack cars right now. I know you can hack them in order to open them with a fake electric key, but I'm pretty sure there's a way to turn off the engine, turn off power steering and stuff like that. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say that's true. Good morning. Please watch this 30-minute advert to enable your site for 6 hours. Oh my god, I never even thought about that. I never even thought about that, dude. Dude, oh my god, we've figured out how to create puppies out of thin air that require no food or maintenance. Now that is something that I want. That's something I would like. If that's what will happen, I'll change my mind I'm in. So a lot of people already have that because they're idiots who don't understand what the cloud actually is. Yes. A lot of people do have security cameras throughout their entire house, not understanding what the cloud is, not understanding the difference between local storage and cloud storage. There was even that company recently, Eufy, E-U-F-I or E-U-F-Y, a subsidiary or partner of Anchor, who said that all their stuff was stored locally. And it turned out that they were actually uploading all of your data to the cloud, tagging things, tagging your face, and it was all stored on their servers. So even the companies that say that it's local storage, you can't even trust them. You have to have your own security system truly on your own local network. Just use an ad blocker. I don't think eyeballs are going to have ad blockers. Dude, 2023 is coming and Chrome banned to block ad blockers to the best of their ability. It's not long until ad blockers are something of the past, truly. There'll be some kind of way to figure out whether or not you are blocking ads. I mean, some websites already have that, where if you're blocking ads, stuff doesn't load. It's not long before most websites say, you know what, yeah, no. You see what Twitter does, where you can't scroll past like 3 posts unless you're logged into it. I fully expect many websites to implement this soon. It's all stored locally by us on our computers. Yeah. Let's continue
about
this.
how we can use the N1 link as a communication prosthesis to help someone with spinal cord injury control a computer or a phone. But it can also be used to reanimate the body. Let me show you how. If we could place
I'm out. I just want to hear that sentence one more time and I'm out.
But it can also be used to reanimate the body.
Zombie warriors. Zombie warriors. We've got zombie soldiers invading countries. Dude. The way this man phrased it, zombie soldiers invading countries that can't die.
Let me show you how. If we could place electrodes into the spinal cord, say in a motor pool adjacent to lower motor neurons, we could stimulate those neurons, activating them, and in turn causing the muscle to contract and movement to occur. Here you can see a view from the R1 robot.
There are military generals all over the planet drowning in saliva. They are salivating so much right now.
It's a targeting view, and we've placed electrodes across many millimeters of the spinal cord. And the R1 robot is able to insert those electrodes deep into the ventral horn, into motor pools, in very close proximity to lower motor neurons. This is important because it allows them to have a localized connection to those neurons and activate very precise movements. Okay, so here's a pig walking on a treadmill, and you may have seen something like this before in a previous Neuralink presentation. But unlike before, this pig has more than one Neuralink device. There's a device in the brain, but there's also one in the spinal cord. And we can stream neural data from these devices in real time and use them to do things like decode the movement of the joints of the pig. So here you can see on the left a time series of the hip, knee, and ankle, and we're decoding those movements. So this is super cool, but that's actually not what we want to do. We want to go in the other direction. We would like to stimulate the spinal cord and cause movement to occur. Okay, so
are they fully admitting right now that the pig is not in control of these legs, and the pig is, and they are controlling the legs of this pig?
Let's stimulate an electrode. So here's one electrode on one thread that when we stimulate causes a flexion movement of the leg. So on the left, you can see the movement of the joints, and you can also see the time series of the stimulation pattern in yellow. So the leg is moving up. Here's another electrode, which when we stimulate causes an extensor movement. This is actually a little harder to see because the leg is straight.
They're fully admitting that they are making that pig's body move without it being the one to think it, meaning that they have the ability to move your limb independent of whether or not you want to move it. I'm sorry, hold on. I just want to show... I need to show you exactly what I'm thinking. I need to show you what I'm thinking. All I can think is this.
Psycho, scouring the internet,
Hold on.
doing whatever you need to, trying to find these 3 quick hacks. Well, I got your back.
Hold on, I just want to see if I can find it. Where is it? Where is it, dude?
Congratulations. You just...
God damn it, where is it? This is exactly what I'm thinking about. Cyberpunk 2077, the quick hack where you have to kill yourself. Dude, if they can control you to this degree wirelessly in 2022, at some point, surely someone gains the ability to make you stab yourself in the face, or blow your brains out, or makes you walk off a building. This is...
straightening and the hips are shifting, but if you look carefully, you can see how the leg is moving. We can stimulate on a great variety of threads and produce different movements and actually sequence them spatial-temporally to provide patterns. So on the left, you can see a time series of...
Even think about like the torture you could do with something like this. Just making someone's leg bend in ways that they can't, like the bone doesn't support. You're forcing the muscles to flex that way, and they can't stop themselves from doing it.
different stimulation on different electrodes. You can see the movements of the joints. And on the right, we're zooming in on muscle activity that gives us an idea of the kind of strength and power and specificity of those movements as well. So in addition to doing sequences, we can also achieve sustained movement. These are powerful muscle contractions of the sort that you might need for standing or other load-bearing activities and are really crucial for interacting through the world.
Think about the ways that you could blackmail people. Imagine this. Listen to this one. This is a real easy one. Imagine, let's say, LeBron James. You know where he's going for coffee that day. You know he's got a Neuralink implant in his left arm. And as you pass him by, you deploy your little quick hack type of thing to make him swing with his left arm and punch you in the face. You can immediately sue. Even on a, like, you wouldn't have, even on a small level, there are so many ways that you could take advantage of something like this in ways that you wouldn't think of. These are ideas off the top of my head.
A lot of work to do to achieve this full vision, but I hope you can see how the pieces are all there to achieve this. And if you find this prospect as exciting to you as it is to me, I hope you'll consider joining us here at Neuralink.
I truly believe that people working at companies like this really need to figure out how to open source it or do something to stop this from being developed. I do not believe that humanity is ready for this at all. Humanity's not ready for a lot of the stuff it's got right now. It really, really isn't. This is insane to me. This is not, it's not right, man. It's, how do I put this in a way that I can convey how I truly feel? I believe that something like this can only end badly for the majority of people. Might not be the majority of people in your country, but the majority of people in someone's country. You know? I don't see how this can be a net positive. I really don't. I don't believe that humanity's ready for this. You need some kind of global peace to, like, real global peace to bring something like this into the world, man. You're talking about being afraid of AI. The thing you should really be afraid of is people. Yeah, I'll end it there.